Interesting topic today. So I realized that a lot of marriages, and ours included, die as a result of boredom. Yeah, boredom is a marriage killer. Boredom is a relationships killer. And now, unlike dating, whereby when you get bored, you can end the relationship and switch to the next best thing. Well, in marriage, you are stuck for life. And I think me as a husband, especially me as a young husband, I had to grapple with the fact that we are in this forever. Me and Gadoni are chained for life. There is no going anywhere. It's the same face I will see for the rest of my life. It's the same body I will see for the rest of my life. She will get to live with this face, and it was hard making peace with that at first. Let me say it was difficult because, the one thing about us human beings is that we like new things and we like new adventures, and we easily get bored, and so seeing the same person over and over again and hearing the same voice, the same stories, at first I was like, man, it feels like it's a trap. It feels like, man, how can I do this for the rest of my life? And it was very interesting because the more I began to focus on the boredom factor, the more I realized that I'm getting bored. And there's that analogy of a new car. So the day that you buy, let's say, your first car, you are mesmerized by it. Everything is a new experience. You look at the dashboard, you admire the stitches on the seats. You stand outside and admire its shiny coat of paint. You admire every detail of it. Everything is so fascinating because it is so new. But as life begins to wear on, as you begin to drive the car every day, then the newness of it disappears. Then you no longer notice the small details. You are no longer mesmerized by the revving engine when you accelerate. Everything begins to look absolutely ordinary and normal. And before long, then you hardly even notice the new car. You just get into it and drive to work or drive to wherever it is that you're going. And the car just becomes ordinary. And now you begin to admire other cars on the road. You're like, wow, man, that driver is really enjoying that driving experience. I want a new car. I'd really want to. I love that. And for me, I think that is a normal life cycle of relationships. That once the newness begins to fade, especially once the first year is done, then you settle into life. And now the mesmerizing, exhilarating, jaw-dropping person who you walk down the aisle is just a normal person. Now you see them getting out of the bathroom, in a towel, and it just seems so ordinary. It just seems so ordinary to keep on seeing their naked body every day. It seems so ordinary for you to sleep next to the same person every day. And for me, I realized that boredom was beginning to kill our marriage. That our getting familiar with each other was actually breeding contempt. I think there's a saying like that, And so I think one of the things that as a guy, as a married man, I have realized is that it is very easy to love 1,000 different women. It is very easy because of the newness factor to it, because of the exhilarating experience of getting to know someone new every time, the Solomon syndrome, let me say, with his 300 concubines and 700 wives. And for me, I believe Solomon, because of he married from all over the world, exotic wives, everybody came with a new experience. But that was very easy to do. But what God was calling me to do as a husband when I made a vow before him that I will forsake all others and I will be faithful to Gathoni only, God was asking me to love one woman for the rest of my life. God was asking me to forsake all others, and to dedicate my life to loving one woman. And now I began realizing that instead of me feeling trapped, instead of me feeling caged, instead of me feeling, oh my goodness, I'm with the same person for the rest of my life, it was for me now to begin to find new ways to love her. And there's that saying that people say that it's easy to love 1,000 different women. But now the challenge is, can you be able to love one woman in 1,000 different ways? And now, 10 years in, I'm a bit late to the party, but now I realize is that I can learn that. I can learn to love this one woman in 1,000 different ways. I can learn that. I can make it the focus of my life to learn to love the different aspects of her. And God was very fascinating that when he made a human being, when he made Gathoni is not just one person, She is a mixture of so many different things, of her experiences, of her past, of her present. She's a mixture of so different things. And now when I began to really look, then I began to really, really enjoy the journey. The same way as when you get comfortable in your car and stop admiring every other car on the road, then you begin to really enjoy your car. Then you begin to notice some things you had never noticed before. Then you begin to notice small, tiny details that you never ever thought existed. And for me, I think that is the same analogy that when I settled as a husband and I realized, you know what? We are stuck together. Now it's for me now to purpose in my heart, to remain faithful to you and to begin to love you as Christ intended. And so, well, these are just ramblings, as I keep on saying, of a married man. But I think in a nutshell is that marriage is such a beautiful thing. And for me, I believe that God intended it this way, that a man and a woman will live together in a monogamous relationship for the rest of their life. And that will be enough for them, that they will not need any other extras, any other people to come and add spice. They themselves are enough. And for me, as I begin to learn this, 10 years on, I'm beginning to enjoy the experience. I'm beginning to realizing, oh man, this is such a beautiful thing. Finding new ways to love her, finding new ways to surprise her, finding new ways to admire her, looking at her in a different kind of light, for me, getting to appreciate her body, her experiences, her laughter, her joys, getting to listen to her voice every day. It is such a wonderful blessing and a privilege to be married to such a woman. And so, yeah, that's it, guys. I think the call for this video is find a way to love that woman in 1,000 different ways. And for me, I believe that God will show you so many ways for you to love her, and you will enjoy the experience. Because for me, I believe that was God's design for marriage, for one man and one woman for the rest of their life. Till next time, God bless.